Blessings, Jovhannah here, host of the Abundantly Ever After show. Today's episode, I'm talking about embracing the essence of a villain, but not in the way that you might be thinking. So get cozy with me and let's dive into the power of setting boundaries and protecting what is sacred to you. Welcome to the show. Greetings, peace, and blessings to you. Welcome back to the Abundantly Ever After show. I am your host, Jovhannah the spiritual healer. Today's episode is all about villainessence. That is the word that encapsulates the energy of 2024 for me and maybe even for you as well. In the 2024 overview reading, one of the words that came up was loyalty. And with that, it was really about, number one, being loyal to yourself. And also, number two, being mindful of who is loyal to you, what people's true intentions are, so on and so forth. There's going to be a lot of revelations regarding yourself, your truth, people who are around you. And this is the year of living abundantly ever after, energetically, when it comes to love, relationships, when it comes to money. Astrology has our back this year. The last few years were very transformative years. There was a lot of shifting and redirecting and refocusing going on. And the image that I'm getting is like how a pitcher winds their arm real good before they, snap and hurl the ball forward. A lot of stuff had to get shaken up in order for you to propel forward along your specific trajectory. And for myself personally, I absolutely know this to be true. So in my journey, I have, even like within my business, I went down so many different paths and directions and changing this and changing that, only for me to have absolute clarity around the thing that I initially started out to do, being the thing, and not having to segment, wanting to help people with money, with mindset, with relationship, with spiritual journey. All of that is embodied in the work that I do naturally. So I don't have to segment things. So then I went along kind of pulling things back in and just bringing it back home. And so had I not taken these different journeys and paths, number one, I wouldn't know how all of these things intersect. And I would not have the clarity or the determination to move forward in the way in which I am now. Speaking of moving forward, I don't know if you've noticed, but things have gotten a little bit of a change. And I felt like it was time to release the beautiful rose gold, the pink colors that I have been working with for a while now. And the reason being is that it no longer resonated. I kept trying to figure out what is this resistance? What is this? Something that I just kept feeling when I was looking at my website, my socials, and I'm like, it's time for an evolution. It's time for something new. It didn't have anything to do with the work that I was doing. It was about how it was being presented. And also for many years, I have been called to work with men, and I have had male clients. However, pink isn't always so inviting. And I feel like that was a higher frequency that a lot of people were not there yet. And so I sat and I was like, okay, well, what is it? What is this energy? What does it look like? What does it feel like? And so the colors that came through were black and gold. And so that is now what things will look like. And I really love that because they're both very grounded, very tangible, very inclusive colors that deeply resonate. And it just feels good. It feels like, okay, this is the next level. So yes, there's that. So back to Villainessence and how any of this matters. So we all know what a villain is. If you've seen any Disney movie, you know who and what a villain is. But I'm going to actually look up the definition of villain. So let me see. So in a film, novel, or play, it's a character whose evil actions or motives are important to the plot, the person or the thing responsible for specified trouble, harm, or damage. That's what the definition of a villain is. It is a malicious person who is involved in or devoted to wickedness or crime, a scoundrel, a character in a play, novel, or the like who constitutes an important evil agency in the plot. Girl, why would you choose that as your word of the year? Hold on, we're getting there. So it doesn't mean I'm a villain or that I want to be a villain, that I want to cause harm or damage to other persons. So when I say villainessence, it is having the essence, which is the intrinsic nature or indispensable quality of something, especially something abstract that determines its character. It's a property or group of properties of something without which it would not exist or be what it is. It is an extract or concentrate obtained from a particular plant or other matter used for flavoring or scent. Essence is having the energy of, which is the basic nature of something, the quality or qualities that makes a thing what it is. For example, the essence of love is unselfishness, and that comes from Merriam-Webster's dictionary on the interwebs. The reason why I chose the word villainessence is not, like I said, not to cause harm, but to carry the energy of a villain. A villain is someone who is super focused on whatever their mission or their objective is. The only thing is that their mission is usually rooted in some sort of hate or wounding. That's not the aspect of villainism that I want to wield. However, with the boundaries that I am upholding, a lot of people will paint me to be the villain, to be the bad guy. A previous show episode where I talked about being in my villain era. And it's just gotten even deeper because I am in a space where I'm building, where I'm growing, and the things that I am building and growing, there are people who cannot come with me. I am no longer responsible for other people's mess, for their stories, for their pains, for their healing. I'm not available for that. And so at times when maybe I would be available for phone calls or no, none of that. And so that will make me the bad guy. And a situation had came up and I was talking to one of my girlfriends, like, okay, what should I do? Should I help? Should I extend? Like, and she's like, absolutely the fuck not. And she was like, everything is good. It's going well. However, you're still putting on your face mask. It's not fully and completely on, and you trying to, be of help or service to someone else who ain't even in the plane. It's going to damage you. It may drag you back to a place where you don't want to be. And she was like, you're going to have to say no. She was like, and I was grateful for her truth and her honesty, her love and her support. That is my sister goddess best friend, Just Afua, who has an amazing song called, several actually. But yeah, I'm a goddess. That is just a divine song. Go listen to it. It's on all the platforms, I believe, Apple, Spotify, wherever you like to listen to your tunes. So that's why I was like, I need to move forward with having the essence of a villain because I'm very nice. Always want to help. I always want to try and help people, which is why I'm a healer and a coach. Those are my natural, it's my natural way of being. But trying to help someone who doesn't want to be helped or helping the wrong person and getting entangled in their shit can be damaging, can be problematic. And that's how a lot of villains are created. I don't know if you've watched Once Upon a Story. It was like the storybook characters came to life and the evil queen put a curse on them and made them real humans and they forgot that they were magical. In the story, the reason why the evil queen was so hurt and enraged is because she was being nice to Snow White. She was a child and, trying to like be her friend and la 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 la. And that somehow wound up in her true love, her mom disappearing her true love. Was that the little child Snow White's fault? No, it was the mother's fault. But she placed her hurt, her blame, her wounding on Snow White and made it her mission to destroy her to the point that she literally destroyed their entire world. I don't want, and there's a lot of people that have that same villain energy where they are just hell bent on being hurtful to people, of using, of manipulating, of all of that stuff. And for people who are natural givers, who are overgivers, people pleasers, pushovers, and I say this all with love, you must wield the energy of a villain to protect yourself. Villainessence is not about going around hashing out vendettas, holding grudges. It is about putting up iron gates, shark-filled moats, and protecting your kingdom, your queendom, your palace, your energy, your peace, whatever it is that you value, is protecting that shit at all costs. And so that is why Villainessence is my word of the year. Another reason is because I've had this vision in my heart, in my mind, for about my entire life. And this vision is the life that I've wanted. And there have been times where, I've tried to share this vision with people or, involve them in some way. And all it did was like hinder my success or hinder my progress, or people say, oh, you can't do that, or that's stupid, or whatever it is, that people want to say, think, or feel. Like Villainessence for me is about protecting this vision, protecting my success, protecting my sacred love for myself, protecting the relationship with my child, protecting my children, and the projects and things that I want to work on. And so when I think about the times in which I allowed myself to shrink under the weight of someone else's words, or to feel that cold shiver in the shade that someone was throwing my way, it's like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So let's see, some synonyms for villainessence could be bad bitch, right? That is a common term. It's not one that I like, but whatever. But that's another phrase. Like, you are moving with the energy of knowing you got that big poom poom energy, right? You're moving in the energy of knowing who you are, whose you are, what you are here to do, how you are here to do it. And you're not going to allow anyone to stand in your way. You know that you are here to take up space. You are full of love for yourself. You're drinking your water, you're minding your business, you're counting your coins, you're growing your life. So it's simply being in this energy of, these are my goals. This is the kingdom or the universe that I'm creating for myself, that I'm creating for, my family or whatever. These are the people who are allowed in. These are the things, the thoughts, and the habits that are allowed in. And anything that is a threat to this manifestation, to this existence, to this reality, to this life, to this abundantly ever after that I am living. Anything that is a threat to my growth, to my evolution, to me standing in my power is not welcome. And sometimes that villain energy also needs to be directed at self. So yes, there are other people we need to put up boundaries against, put on, block, do not disturb. But we also need to make sure that we're not falling victim to our own inner bullying, to our own inner villain, so that you also have boundaries and restrictions within yourself so that you're not self-sabotaging your way to greatness. So that is what my word of the year is all about. It's villainessence. And, this is a practice that I have done, oh my gosh, for decades. It's like choosing a word or a theme to guide my year. And it really does inform what I do, what I focus on, how I interact with people. It makes a huge, huge difference. Because even if I don't have like a set goal, I know, well, this is the mood for me. This is the word that I desire to embody and embrace. So it helps. It's like a compass for me. It's a compass for me, and an anchor that lets me know in which direction to move. And so I'll give some quick ways on like choosing a theme for your year. I believe I have some blog posts on my website that I can link as well if you want to check those out. But usually they come to me. This year I was kind of playing around with a few different phrases. And so Villainessence, like I said, it came to me through conversation with a friend, and I'm like, okay, like that's what it is. And that made sense. It felt very resonant. Other years, maybe it was just a word. There was once when my phrase was positive forward movement, and that was a mantra that I said to myself at a time when I needed it the most. So I've had take action, I've had focus, and then sometimes I would choose like a theme song for myself. Okay, so the posts are not yet live. I moved them over from my old website. So I'll have to work on that. But yeah, like picking a theme for your year can be very monumental and helpful. And so it helps me to plan for the coming year ahead and really eliminates confusion for me. So that is what I do. I come up with a theme that's either a word or a phrase that has a lot of power and energy behind it that helps me propel through the year. It is the central focus. And there was one year, like I said, my theme was take action. And though that was like a big kind of vague thing, it reminded me that I need to take action on what I've planned and things like that. So, these are things that were important, that needed my attention, and things that were going to help me achieve success and reach my goal. So when I choose my word of the year, I tend to look back and, really see, okay, what was missing? What would have made this year like the greatest if I had have done what? And so when I do that, then I'm like, okay, if I had of, really protected my peace or said no or whatever the case may be, then things would have maybe gone differently. So it just sets the direction for my year and helps me to move forward. But I do look back and see like, okay, what have I not so much lost, but yeah, like how have I been stuck? And so then boom, I choose my word. Okay. So that's it. I think having a theme really sets a powerful intention for the year and helps to guide you in like habits, decision, and action so that you can achieve goals. Like in 2015, that was the year that I had my youngest, that my focus was changed. And there was a lot of change that year. I had a baby, I moved, my relationship changed, my work changed, and I changed my business and website. So it was a really great year. There were lots of changes. Not all of them were great or easy, but I was able to move through it. And I felt more so prepared for them. So if you haven't set up a theme for yourself, I really challenge you to pick a word or a phrase, or maybe just an area of life that you want to focus on. And whatever it is that you choose, it should remind you of your goals and be the reason to keep moving, to push forward. And it's simple. Like, you don't have to do it for the whole year. Maybe you set one for your month and you're like, okay, this month is about body movement, or this month is about going to the gym. Like, whatever it is, just give it a try and see how that feels for you and what that looks like. And then just, yeah, let me know. So pick a word or phrase that represents what you'd like your next year of life to be about. For me, Villainessence is about protecting what's sacred to me and upholding like boundaries on boundaries. So thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Abundantly Ever After show. This is your invitation to join me inside of Loved, which is my private membership community. And it's a beautiful space where you can work with me as a teacher, as a healer, as a coach. We can have conversations. There are events and lots of beautiful things happening inside of Love. So visit my website, jovhannahtisdale.com/love, and become a member today. Peace.